But yet you've talked also quite a bit about reducing taxes,
Yeah.
especially on the higher end. Do you see a dichotomy?
No,
there?
well, I mean, first of all, you know, we implemented this earned income tax credit, and we're very aware of the fact that, you know, that we want to make sure that everyone gets a gain. Now, I think it's fair to say this administration has spent a significant amount of time and resources on making sure that people who live in the shadows get help. And it's not just with the recent Medicaid expansion. It's also been all along with those who have mental illness, what we've done in the prisons, and in terms of giving people a second chance to get out and wiping the slate clean and not sticking people who've got these nonviolent felonies in prisons. I mean, we're very well aware. Job training for folks, what we're going to do on K through 12. But sir, class warfare, it doesn't work. It didn't work in my family. My dad carried mail on his back. His father was a coal miner. My mother's mother could barely speak English. You know, my father said, Johnny, we don't hate the rich, we want to be rich, okay? And, you know, there's nothing wrong with wealth. I want to be clear about that. There's nothing wrong with accumulating wealth. But if it becomes your idol or your false god, or if you think you will find happiness through the accumulation of wealth, it isn't going to work for you. So when I look at tax cuts produce jobs. Do you understand that? The lower our, I just told you, $17 billion in money that could be spent in Archibald is being spent in, you know, Miami, Florida. Because the people who are successful are leaving our state. And when they leave their state, our state, they take their charity, they take their ideas, they take their innovation. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want them to be figuring out how much time they can stay out of Ohio. Secondly, when you reduce the tax burden, and when you look at those who have the lowest tax burden, they got the fastest economic growth. Texas. 50% of the jobs created in America were in Texas. What's their income tax? Don't have one. Florida. What's their income tax? Either the state or local communities? Guess what? They don't have one. Are they growing? Yes, they're growing. So I want Ohio to be in a position where we have a tax code that supports the level of spending that we need in our government, but also is consistent with economic growth. Being mindful of the fact that, you know, you want to be in a position of where everybody in the state is going to benefit in terms of the economic growth and the benefits that come our way. So I think class warfare is the height of cynicism. And at the same time, you've got to have a degree of fairness in all this, and you've got to balance the two. My number one goal is, you know, before I come in, we were at 350,000 jobs down. Now we're 170,000 jobs up. Now, if I was a doctor and you had an ailment and you came to me, you probably would say, well, I want to see job creation. You might say, well, I think you're doing okay, I'll take more medicine. So that's kind of what it is. It's medicine for growth. Boy, taxes have never been described that way. But thank you, sir, for your question. And I understand it. Yes?